Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we are live now only. Yeah, now we can see. Yes, we can start.
A very warm good evening to everyone. On behalf of the Department of BCom Information System Management, Sri Krishna Swami College for Women, I am much excited to extend a very warm and ardent welcome to each and every one of you for the 5 days International Faculty Development Program titled Idea to Impact Research Proposal Development and Funding Strategy. I am Dr. S. Subbalakshmi, Assistant Professor, and I will be your host for the day. It is a mark of an undying tradition to invoke the Almighty at the beginning of any event. Today, as we gather together, I pray to the Almighty to fill all our hearts with joy and all our minds with learning. May the Almighty anoint our creativity, our ideas, and our energy so that we accomplish even the hardest of all tasks. With this note of prayer, let's begin the event. Today, as a part of the 5 days International Faculty Development Program, Idea to Impact Research Proposal Development and Funding Strategy, we have gathered here for a session on a strategic framework to empower research innovations and unlock funding opportunities. To speak on this topic today, we have an eminent scholar and globally renowned scientist, Dr. K. Karunamurthy, public health entomologist, Jasan University, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It is an essential aspect of welcoming and expressing gratitude towards the people who joined and became a part of the ceremony today. May I now request Ms. Anubala, Head Department of BCom Information System Management, to welcome the gathering and to introduce our guest speaker.
Good evening, everyone. Very warm good evening to all of you. The Department of BCom Information System Management, in collaboration with IQSC, is highly privileged to organize this 5 days International Faculty Development Program on Idea to Impact, with all the esteemed guest speakers from various national and international colleges and institutions. I deem it as a great honor to present the welcome address and welcome each one of you with open arms and hearts on this for this program. I take this opportunity to welcome the pillars of our support, our college directors, Shri K.B. Rajmohan sir, Shri K.B. Arun sir, and Shri K.B. Krishnanand sir, and our principal ma'am, Dr. Anita Rajendran. I extend our warmest greetings and heartfelt welcome to our resource person for today, Dr. K. Karunamurthy, Public Health Entomologist, Associate Professor at Jasan University, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I also extend a very special welcome to all the faculty members from various departments and various colleges. We are glad that you all have gathered here for this FDP, and we hope that you will be finding this FDP to be fruitful. Now, I'd like to introduce today's chief guest. We are privileged to have this such a distinguished personality as a resource person. We are truly honored to have an eminent scholar, a globally renowned scientist, as the chief guest for today's FTP. Our resource person, Dr. K. Murthy, is a distinguished public health entomologist and currently is serving as an associate professor at Jasan University, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. With more than 27 years of international teaching and research experience across India, Ethiopia, and Saudi Arabia, he has made remarkable contribution in the fields of medical etymology, epidemiology, environmental health, and vector-borne disease control. Dr. Karunamurthy has been recognized among the world's top 2% of scientists by Stanford University for 3 consecutive years from 2023 to 2025, which is a testimony to his outstanding research impact and global recognition. He is also a fellow of Royal Etymological Society, London, and a recipient of several prestigious awards for excellence in public health research and education. In his research, he has over 19,449 citations across his publication, indicating that his work is widely referenced by other researchers and has an H index of 42 and an I-10 index of 74. His publication and articles goes as a very big list, around 14 pages. So it will take the whole FTP timing. So we are indeed privileged to have such an accomplished academician and researcher amongst us today. I request our esteemed resource person to kindly address the gathering. Over to you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to congratulate the College of Krishna Swami College of for Women for organizing such a events, particularly to benefit across all sections of the society, particularly academicians and uh, academicians and as well as for the faculty members. And it is a very unique program actually, because actually, actually I have worked in India for many years, particularly in Chennai, and we know very well. But these currently they are very much focused on the research, because research is one of the most cornerstone for humankind. So this way, this FDP program is one of the most important program, and I hope and actually I have actively involved in this FDP program, and really it is one of the most interesting and most useful thing for many young researchers, and as well as for the students, particularly those are studying undergraduate and postgraduates, and those are pursuing their PhD program. So this way I would like to congratulate the Department of BCom and as well as the Krishna Swami College for Women, the management for organizing such a event. And aside, I also would like to thank the principal, Dr. Anita Rajendran, as well as the directors, Krishna Anand, and Dr. K.B. Arun, and as well as K.B. Raj Mogan. And apart from this one, I would like to thank Dr. Anubala for inviting us, particularly Dr. Subleshmi and Dr. Gauri, Al-Shah, and as well as Dr. Bhavani and Dr. Sabita Rani. And beside, I would like to thank and welcome all the faculty members, as well as my colleagues and my beloved students. And thank you so much for inviting us. Now we will go for the presentation now. Okay. And today our topic is a strategic framework to empower the research innovation and unlock funding opportunities. We know very well, learning is a continuous process. Actually, for human being, learning is a continuous process. So this way, the similar way, like a learning, research also is a continuous process. Because without research, probably we cannot reach this level. Today, we are living in the most, what's called, it is a digital era. For each and everything, because we are living in the era of artificial intelligence. And probably within 10 years, we will go far away from this one. And in this way, the topic is quite relevant. A strategic framework to empower the research innovation and unlock funding opportunities. Actually, here what happened, the research is a driver force. It's not only for the scientific development, particularly for the societal development, and as well as for the innovation of new ideas, new techniques, new knowledge, and everything can be done through the research only. So that is the basic aim of the research. Suppose I am a researcher, I have some idea, but the idea has to be translated into a meaningful research. So I have an innovative idea as a researcher, because I have some idea, but this idea has to be benefited by the society. For that, I have to do a very competitive research. To conduct a research, particularly we need a funding opportunities. Funding is very, very important to conduct any kind of research. So this way, this presentation, today presentation is going to explore how to translate your research innovation into a meaningful research, and how to unlock the funding opportunities. Where are the funding opportunities are there? Because without funding, you cannot do the research. Okay. So how to acquire the funding? In order to acquire funding, we have to go for the proposal development. So how to we can make a proposal and everything we are going to see. So this presentation, actually, this is the overall view of our presentations. So first we are going to see about the background and rationale about this presentation. And apart from this one, we are going to see the vision and the objectives. What are the major objectives of this presentation? And what are the strategic pillars? There are pillars are there. So strategic pillars means how we can go from the innovative idea to research, and which can be benefited for the humankind. And apart from this one, and we are going to see how we can acquire the fund and funding, and how to conduct a research, and how to disseminate the research. So these are the things are very, very essential. So what are the strategic pillars are there in terms of this? Here it is here strategic pillars means that's called is a strategic framework. Okay. Then what are the enabler and outcome? What is the outcome of the research? And this one. And finally, we are going to conclude the research, this presentation. So as I know already, as I mentioned already. So an innovative idea or innovative researcher, it's a critical driver for the scientific advancement and socio-economic development. Apart from this one, evidence-based policy formulations, because the policy can be designed based on the evidence. The evidence, how you will get it? From the data. How you will get it? The data, actually, the ultimate aim of the research is collection of the data. The collection of the data, you have to go for the analysis. And in the analysis, you have actually, at the end of the day, the data is just a number, but it is the knowledge of the researcher and the experience. He has to translate the number into the meaningful outcome. Okay. So this way, the scientific advancement, socio-economic development, and evidence-based policy formulation. So everything is coming from the innovative idea and innovative research. Okay. But suppose I have the innovative idea, whether it can be useful? No. And innovative idea alone is insufficient to achieve the meaningful impact. Meaningful impact means the outcome of the research. Okay. So what we have to do it? It has to be systematically nurtured and translated into competitive proposal and aligned with the sustainable funding mechanisms. So you know very well, throughout the world, there are many funding agencies are there. So you have to translate your idea into a meaningful proposal. That proposal should align with the funding agencies' objectives and their motto. So this way you have to do it. Okay. What is strategic framework? Framework is very much essential to achieve the same. So we have to bridge the gap between the ideation, because we have the idea, and the idea has to be implemented. And for the implementation, I need a financial support. That means a funding opportunities. Okay. So what is the aim of the strategic frameworks? If the aim of the strategic framework is to strengthen the entire research ecosystem by integrating the capacity building. Capacity building in the sense, what we need capacity building means particularly, but we are going to, I am going to explain in the very detailed manner the coming slide. So let me move. Okay. Capacity building, interdisciplinary collaborations. So you have to collaborate with the many other disciplines, because nowadays, in the era of digital era, there is no separate discipline. There is no separate discipline. You see, just before 10 years before, Bachelor of Commerce, it is just a different domain. But now it is not so. Even now, see this department, information system, because I have seen their course outline. It's entirely different, and it's look like very unique, and it's look like very fresh also. So this way, hereafter there will be no separate domain. Here all are interdisciplinary. Hereafter the world become an interdisciplinary world. Okay. So interdisciplinary collaboration, funding intelligence. Funding intelligence means how to acquire the fund from the funding agencies. So for that we need a very smart proposals, and impact-oriented research governance. That's very, very important. Because impact-oriented research governance means, I always believe that, because as a researcher, we will do a lot of research, and we will come up with some findings, and we publish some papers, and we will get some what's called PhD degree or a master degree or something, and finally we get a promotion and everything. But if you see, as a researcher, sometimes I used to believe that the research must be translated, okay, into the human being. The research must be translated into the very important tool, beneficial tool for the humankind. So there should be a bridges between the research laboratory to the community. So it has to be done, and probably we are on the way to do such a things. And when compared with the previous years, nowadays, the recent days, the research become an international phenomenon, and people are doing research across the globes. And moreover, now see, arts and science college, they are conducting a program for research itself, shows that how much is that we are giving importance to the research. Okay, it provides a structured pathway to empower the researchers, enhance the institutional competitiveness, because you have to go for the competitive, because now the institutions are become very competitive, so you have to go there, and unlock the diverse national and international funding opportunities. So what are the national and international funding opportunities are there, and we have to move ahead. Okay. Right. Global competition for research funding is increasing. Okay. So what happened? So throughout the world, there are many agencies are there, even WHO, FAO, and many UN and many international agencies are, even for Wellcome Trust, Bill Clinton Trust, so even Obama Trust. So there are many funding agencies are there, and you have to identify the funding agencies. Okay. Then innovation is essential to societal and economic development. Okay, so if you are going to do any research, and it should be benefited for the socio-economic development of the community, and the institution requires structured system to remain competitive. Okay, particularly the academic institution. Okay, so what are the rationale for the strategic framework? So fragmented research effort limit impact. So it will be limit the impact. So funding agency demand alignment and accountability. So actually, whenever we are going to develop a proposal, then the funding agencies they are demanding, because as I mentioned already, your proposal should align with their objectives or the motto or the aim of the funding agencies, and we should have the transparency as well as the accountability. Then apart from this one, strategic framework, integrated innovation, funding and impact. So these are the things we should remember always. Okay. So what are the visions? Establish a sustainable innovation driven research ecosystem. That's very important. Then position institutions as a globally competitive research hub. Yes, each and every institution should converted into be a competitive research hub, because now you have to compete with the world. It's not like earlier, because now the world become a global village. Global village. So we have to go through all this one. So what are the objectives or strategic objectives? Empower the researchers. So that's very important. How you can empower the researchers, particularly by, suppose I am working here, what they will do when you are going to conduct a research, immediately suppose my credit hour 10 credit hour per hours, because as the associate professor I have 10 credit hours. So what they will do, if I have the any funding or if I have any research, they will limit my credit hours. That means suppose 4 hours they will they will give 4 hours, so remaining hours you can work. So this way they are giving the time. Okay. And apart from that one, you must have the enough funding. Okay. Then the management or the institution must give enough free hand for the researchers. So in order to access the meaningful publications, citations and everything. And suppose if somebody is publishing a more research article, particularly in indexed journals, they have to give some not only promotion, in terms of salary hike or something has to be done. Okay. Then increase the funding success rate. So this way you have to success rate, because you have to ask your academicians to develop a meaningful proposal in order to acquire fund. Okay. Enhance societal and policy impact. So this way you can go for the when you do more research, the research will be benefited for the community, for the society. So this way the policy makers will make a very strong policy in order to achieve the goal of the research. Okay. Then ensure long-term sustainability. That also one of the most important thing. Okay, framework of architecture. So what are the things that you should have? You should have the capacity building. Already I told you the researcher must have the free hand, and you must have the enough funding, and you must have the enough laboratory facilities, and you must have the enough international internet and other accessing free journals and database journals and everything. So you must have the very good capacity building. That is very important. Then innovation of incubations. Okay, so when you have the innovative idea, and you have to develop it, has to be nurtured into be a research. It is a meaningful research. And funding alignment, already I told you, national, international level, lot of funding agencies are there. So you have to choose according to your research area. According to your research area, you have to identify a particular funding agencies. So based on the funding agencies, just go through their funding agency website and read their objectives and goal and everything. Then according to that, you have to develop your proposal, which should be aligned with the funding agency's objectives. Then make a partnerships. That's very important. Collaborative research are very, very important, because you have to make a partnership between the institution or between the universities, maybe between the universities within the India or abroad, abroad, and any part of the academicians, because now the world become very small. So through the email or through the communications, we should have the strong collaboration with the other researchers. So this one, then governance and impact. So this way, it will be benefited for in terms of governance, and as well as it will create a lot of impact for the society. So research capacity strengthening. So in this one, what are the number one, human capital development. Okay, that's one. But that's what I told you. So first you have to encourage the researchers to do a research and give them free hand and limited their credit hours. Ask them to do research, and wherever the possible, ask them to develop a proposal, make a small research group within the college or within the department. A small research group based on their specialty. You have to make it the different research groups and ask them to develop a proposal and identify some funding agencies and apply, because there are a lot of fundings are available right now, but we have to go for the most successful research proposal. So for that, you have to go for the capital development. Then skills enhancement. So each and every researcher, they have to develop a skills. So it has to be enhanced. How to develop a infrastructure facilities within the academic institutions or the universities or colleges. This one. Then research excellence culture, that very important. Particularly, you have to develop a culture among the faculty members. Particularly research culture, that's very important. Actually, I have traveled. Actually, I was working in Ethiopia. It's a privilege for me. When I entered there, I don't have any single publications, but when I entered there, and I was the pioneer, because I have published more research article from 2006 to 2008. From there, they have started now the particular department which where I was working there, and now it's one of the most prestigious research institute in Ethiopia right now. Because wherever you go, as a researcher, as a academicians, because as a academicians, simply teaching a subject and going back, it will not be useful for us. Because in order to, if you want to recognize by the world community, because everyone have the PhD, everyone have the academic position, but how you are different from others, it will be your research only will show them, highlight them, and it will show you and who are you. Okay, and the world will identify you. So that's why you have to develop a research culture within the department. Okay, so then capacity building strategies. Number one is research methodology training. Just right now, what you are doing, a similar kind of training, and expose all the faculty members about the research, what are the research techniques are there and everything. And this way, research methodology training, conducting frequent research methodology training, then advanced analytic and data sciences method. Okay, so particularly statistical analysis software, and what are the strategic tests are there, because they are very important tool for the conducting research. And apart from this one, the scientific writing and publishing, this is $1 million question. Even a very experienced researcher, they cannot publish a research articles. The reason is very simple, because scientific writing is a very, very complicated one. And publishing in a high impact factor journal, again, it become a very complicated one. But from my experience, what I am saying is keep on trying, and just to increase your vocabulary, increase your English vocabulary, and take long time. Even for abstract, even 1 week, no problem. Take 1 week for introduction, 1 week for research methodology, 1 week for research, and 1 week for data analysis, 2 weeks for discussion, and 1 week for reference citation and everything. So even if you have the data, you can take more than 2 months or 3 months in order to develop a very good research articles. Okay. So whenever you are going for the citation, always use very recent citations, not the very old one. Okay. Then plagiarism, that's one of the most important problem these days. So you have to go for, there is no other option. You have to learn your English, and you have to make yourself. Okay. So scientific writing, and afterwards identify appropriate journal itself a very big task, because now there are a lot of predatory journals are available. If you pay money, and they will show there, here and there, that they are indexed journal, but if you go directly inside, it is not indexed journals. So that's why you should be very, very careful. And moreover, even if you don't publish any research article, please don't publish any research article on the predatory journals, because it will block mark you. This is very important, particularly. Then grant writing workshops. So conducting grant writing workshops, again, budgeting and compliance. Okay. So budget and compliance, and mock reviews and peer feedback. Okay. So once the proposal is ready, and you can have a review within the department, and try to get feedback from your colleagues regarding your competitive proposals. This way you can develop a good proposal. And translating idea into fundable concept. Okay, that's very important. So translating the ideas, because I have the idea, but I have to translate into a meaningful research. Particularly, uh, that that meaningful research must be done through the fundable concept. Fundable concept means, as I mentioned already, there are many funding agencies are there. You have to identify the funding agencies and their mottos, their objectives, their aim. So according to that, you have to change it. Suppose I am a researcher in the public health domain, and I want to, I have the idea, I have the vaccine development or something like that. I have some idea. Suppose the vaccine development for coronavirus or HIV/AIDS or something like that. I have some idea. So I should not look only for the public health domains, and I have to look for the even uh, social science funding agencies. So what happened? You have to convert your research into in that particular funding agencies' objectives and mottos. So this way that you can translate your idea into a fundable concept. Then encourage the creativity and risk taking. And always you have to go for the calculative risk. Whenever you are going to do a research, you have to take a calculative research. The risk you have to take it, and encouraging the creativity among the faculty members. Then innovation mechanism, researcher incubators, innovation labs, seed and pilot fundings. Okay, research incubators. So here what happened, the researcher, he has to develop the ideas and everything, and you have to have a very good, well sophisticated laboratories whenever you go into the research. Even I know there are many institutions, they are having many laptops, many computers, many everything, but without any statistical softwares. The many institutions, they have to buy a software, and they have to give the for the faculty members, then only they can do a good research. Okay. Then seed and pilot funding. Seed and pilot funding means, because a small amount of fund must be generated, or it must be given to the faculty members in order to do a research. Okay. Because small funding, I am saying, for small research. Then cross disciplinary teams. So you have to make, as I mentioned already, hereafter there is no separate domains only for history, physics, not like that. Now everything interdisciplinary. The world becoming interdisciplinary. So you have to have a interdisciplinary teams. Okay. Then system thinking approaches. So we must have the system thinking approaches. Then complex problem solving. So we must have the complex problem. So that kind of skill and everything, knowledge, understanding, skill, and everything we have to developed in order to solve the problems. Okay. And apart from this one, so as I mentioned already, the third pillar is strategic aligned with the funding priorities. Okay, matching research ideas with the donor agenda. Donor agenda means I told you, WHO. You take in India ICMR, UGC. There are many funding agencies are there. So you have to identify national, international level, and you have to match your research ideas, that is your innovative idea, with your donor agenda. Agenda means here you have to think about the what's called the objectives and aims of the project. Okay. Global and national alignment. Sustainable development goals must be developed. Okay. National research priorities. Suppose in India, national research priorities are, what are the national research priorities are? Suppose if it is a public health, suppose the recent years, Corona was the national research priorities. So such kind of research you have to identify. From that area, you have to do a research. Okay. Then thematic funding areas. So this also you have to identify. Then proactive funding intelligence and resource mobilization. That's one of the most important phase for conduct your research. Proactive funding identifications. Okay, so funding agencies you must be identified. Then diversified funding portfolios. As I mentioned already, you have to look only. You should not look after only one funding agencies. There are different funding agencies, national and international level, and they are working for in many domains: public health, data science, society. In this many aspects they are working. So you have to identify and different portfolios. Okay, then and you have to develop a funding support structures. Suppose each and every institution, then we must have the at least minimum one research center, and one faculty member should be responsible for this one, in order to, suppose any fundings are coming, and it has to be dismantled to all the faculty members. Okay, so you have to have the research development officers. Okay, then funding opportunity databases, you have to develop a funding opportunities databases. Each and every institution must have the funding opportunity databases. So what happened, because if suppose a funding agent, a lot of, suppose in India there are 15 funding agencies are there, that means probably one funding agency, they will make an announcement on February, another one is March, another one is April, like this. So you have to identify the date and everything, and we have to inform all the faculty members or academicians or for the students, in order to apply for the fundings. Okay, then proposal support teams. Already we must have the, suppose any researcher or any faculty member, if you develop a research proposal, and we should have the support team. As I mentioned already earlier, we have mentioned that peer review, mock interview. So many things we can have it within the department itself. So this will create a successful and very successful proposal outcome. And the fifth pillar is collaborative network and partnerships. Okay, so collaboration enhance the credibility and impact. What kind of collaborations? As I mentioned already, within the colleges or within the universities within India, and between the universities across the globe. So you have to have the international or national collaborations. Because why the collaborations are very important means, because it will ensure or it will enhance the credibility of your research. So that's why you have to have the meaningful collaborations, and this will reflect in your impact. Actually, what happened, I will tell you from my own experience. Actually, in 2014, I have written a systematic review article, but that review article regarding counterfeit anti-malarial something, I was writing a research article, a systematic review article, and I was a sole author. And I took nearly a year almost to, because it's even the printed pages are more around 18 pages or 19 pages. Imagine one printed page is equivalent to 4 A4. So that means you can imagine around to some 60-70 pages. That's that systematic review. So what happened, it was written by me, and I have made all analysis, and I have prepared a very good manuscript, and I have submitted, and it's published actually already in 2014 itself. But what happened, in the review, so that the editor-in-chief, he has to send a mail to me that we are unable to accept your research article because it is a single author. Why it is a single author? Why they are because they are thinking that a single author cannot do such a kind of very vast data analysis and vast kind of writing. But I later then I have explained that I took it more than 6 months, and moreover, all this manuscript and all this data is reviewed by my colleagues and from various institutions, and finally it was accepted. So this is why you must have collaborations within the institution or within India or within the universities throughout the world, because it will enhance the credibility of the research, the data, and everything. And finally, of course, when you have more idea, more people, you will have more idea. That's the problem. That is the more solutions. But in the academic platform, it's a different way. We know very well because I have worked in India more than 5 years in Chennai only. So when we involve more people, more problem will arise. But as a researcher, as a academicians, we should not have a self-interest. And because at the end of the day, our research must be benefited for the society. So we should always think in this way. Okay. Then partnership models. What are the partnership you can develop? You can develop from the academia and industry partnership. That's very, very important, because at the end of the day, suppose you are running a big program. At the end of the day, the students must go to the job. So you have to identify the potential stakeholders. So the potential stakeholder, that means the employer, the coming the near future, they will be an employer for our students. So we must have a strong collaboration with them. So whenever you are going to review your curriculum, or so you have to involve particularly all the stakeholders. That's very important. So we must have the academia and industry partnerships. Then government and NGO collaborations. So a lot of government and government agencies and non-governmental agencies, we must have the collaborations in order to do research. Then international research consortia. Okay, so international funding agencies, there are many agencies are there. And apart from this one, I wanted to tell you people, you can enhance your publications. How you can identify means, just there are a lot of research groups are running across the globe. Lot of research group. Even I have joined one research group. So just to according to your research domain, go to and Google it, and you will identify some of research groups. Maybe it may be in Europe, or it may be in America, it may be in other part of the world. So what you can do it, identify some potential research group which is aligned with your research area. So send the mail to them, and that I am a researcher and I'm having such idea and I want to join your research groups. So probably they will invite you. So once if you enter this one, because it will give a lot of benefit for the, not only for you, even for the research group itself, because you have a lot of collaborations, and this way you can generate a lot of research articles, and apart from this one, lot of research outcomes also, and publications too. Okay. Then research governance and sustainability. So accountability and transparency, these are the very, very important things whenever you are going for the funding. So accountability is very, very important. And moreover, all this one must have the transparent, particularly the funding expenditure. Apart from this one, particularly the data analysis, whatever this one. Okay. Then research, efficient research administration, that also one of the most important things. As I mentioned earlier, you might have a research office. Okay, research office within the faculty itself or within the college, you must have it. So in order to identify the potential funding agencies, in order to identify the potential researcher, in order to encourage, in order to conduct a like this research workshop, and in order to encourage the faculty members to publish research articles. Okay, then we must have the research policies. Each and every department, each and every faculty, within the college, we must have the research policies. And apart from this one, standard operating procedures. Standard SOPs mean standard operating procedures. So we must have the research policies. Okay, and here the research policies, each and every roles, each and every designation must be explained. Roles and responsibility must be spelled out very correctly. Then financial management system, that also very important. And close monitoring and evaluation is very important. Each and everything, each and every step of the research. Then knowledge translations. Okay, moving research beyond the publications. So whenever you are going to do a research, and as I mentioned already, we are doing a lot of research. At the end of the day, we publish a research article and we get the degree and we get the promotion and we forget our research. This is fortunately and unfortunately, this is the current scenario anywhere in the world. But now the things are different, because our research must be, our data must be translated into some tool or some techniques or something which can be benefited for the community. So you have to think beyond the publications. Okay, that is very important. Then policy brief, stakeholder engagement. Okay, you have to engage all the stakeholders. Then community disseminations. Community dissemination. Once the research findings come out, and the particular the outcome must be disseminated. It has to be disseminated to all the peoples, all the important stakeholders, particularly the community. As I mentioned already, there should be a bridges between the research laboratories to the community. That's very, very important. Okay. Then intellectual property protections. So that nowadays you know very well, patent right and everything. And sometimes intellectual property protection means nowadays there is an intellectual property protection is there. That is why the plagiarism is arising. Whenever you are publishing some research article, you cannot, like earlier, you cannot do it here, because now there are many softwares are there, plagiarism checkers. So they will identify and where you have taken the source, and everything will be identified very easily. And try as much as possible without try to write a research article as much as possible without any plagiarism. That's very, very important. Okay. Then technology transfer offices. Technology transfer offices means I have identified some technology and it has to be benefited for the community as for the society. So there should be a separate office for this one in order to implement this research finding at the end of the day for the community, for their personal uses. Okay, startup and spins up. So these are the things are very important. Cross-cutting and okay. Then digital infrastructure, equity and inclusion, ethics and integrity, and sustainability. So digital infrastructures you have to develop. As I mentioned already, you must have all the softwares and you must have enough system and everything. Okay, digital, particularly statistical softwares, very important. Equity and inclusion, and ethics and integrity. So whenever you are doing the research, you must have the ethics. That's very important. Ethical values are very, very important. Then integrity, then sustainability to conduct a research and everything. Okay. So what are the expected outcome? So as institutions, increased funding success. So suppose if there are 10 proposals are submitted for the funding agency, at least 4 or 5 or 6 must be succeeded. They must be acquired the funding. So that one. Then apart from this one, high impact research output. High impact research output means in terms of publications. It may be a peer-reviewed journal, it may be a conference presentations or workshop presentation, or maybe a multi-authored volume books or in this way. You have to have it, the high research outputs and institutional visibility. So when you are having more citations, more publications, more patent and everything, so automatically and your institutions will be visible. Okay, because there are many rankings are available every year. So our institutions will be ranked there. Then at the end of the day, our research must be not only for the high impact research publication, not for increased funding success, not only for institutional visibility. At the end of the day, our research must be benefited for the society. So this way, this was the expected outcome. And a long-term impact. So research-driven development has to be developed. Evidence-based policy making and sustainable innovation ecosystem has to be developed. Okay, short-term, you have to go for the capacity building. Capacity building means human resource, research laboratories, funding, and everything. Okay, medium terms, funding growth are very, very important. So long term, and this action should be sustainable sustainability, and it must be have the great positive impact on the society. So the conclusion, it has to be integrated, strategic, adaptive framework must be done, align innovation with the funding and impact, and essential for research excellence. So these are the 5 and thank you so much. If you have, my dear colleagues or students or anyone, if you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Uh, Dear participants, you may post your doubts in the comment section. We'll present it in the screen. So thank you very much. Your presentation was very useful, sir.
Thank you.
Actually, we have just starting with our research in our college. For past 2 years, we are having a commerce research department, and now we are applying for a, computer science research
Wow,
department
very good.
also.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent work.
and may proceed with management studies also. We have having too many doctorates in computer science department
Very good. Excellent,
also.
madam.
And but though it's a budding college only, but we are trying to improve ours, and this knowledge is very useful for us. When you told about what are the infrastructure needed in our research room, especially when it comes to the softwares and all, what are the softwares actually in a research room it's needed, sir, that you recommend?
Actually, MATLabs, there is one software. It is very easy. Then when compared with the SPSS,
Hmm.
MATLabs,
MATLabs, okay, MATLab,
MATLabs. So that
MATLab.
software, it will be very useful. Because when compared with the SPSS, it's very easy for you.
Hmm.
For data analysis, for everything, parametric, non-parametric test and everything. That could be
Hmm.
very useful for us because you will get a color pictures and everything, figure
Okay.
tables and everything
Okay. So plagiarism
for
software is
data
also
analysis.
compulsory, sir. Sir, for plagiarism software is also compulsory to have.
Yes, it's
Have.
very much important, madam.
Okay.
Yes,
Everyone
there
is.
are many plagiarism softwares are available right now, and probably and now the doing research is very easy now. Publishing an article become a very complicated because of the
Oh.
AI tools, because they have very good
Oh.
important very good tools are available. So what happen whenever
Mhm.
you submit your publication for the journals, immediately the research editor in chief immediately, because I am also editor in chief for many journals. So what
Oh.
I will do, there is a software, if I put it and it will show all the sources. So that's why
Okay.
it's very difficult these days. So before submitting any research articles,
Uh-huh. So there's a question here, sir. Actually, could you
okay,
please
madam.
provide the list of funding agencies? I think he means to say in India, maybe.
Okay, but there are a lot of funding agencies are there, but according to your domain of research, according to your domain of research, even UGC, we are having many research, many funding opportunities are there. Even UGC, ICMR, we are having many funding agencies are available. Even Bill Clinton Foundation also we have in India itself. Even Obama Foundation also is there, Carter Foundations, and many foundations are there. And you have to identify according to your domain. And moreover, before applying for the funding, first get your idea, get your proposal and everything, some extent, go to your funding agency, I locate the funding agency, go there and study their objectives and mottos and what kind of, because the previous year, what are the, how much funding they have done and what topic and everything, read this one. So according to that, change your topic little bit here and there and try to apply and probably you will be succeeded. Even we got it around $300 million project, we got it. 300
That's
300 million. But for that you must have a very good research group. That's very important. Because the research
oh.
group, because the funding agency, they not only see your funding, your proposal, they will see the capacity of the researchers, the
Okay,
credibility of the
so
research.
the researchers should be from our college only, or we should have collaboration with other institutions too.
You must have the collaborations with even not within our college. Probably three or four people from your college, and
Hmm.
three or four people from other institutions or other disciplinary
Hmm.
other colleges are within the India or within the Chennai, within Chennai or within India or within throughout the world. Whoever, because you know very well, even you as a academicians, you people, when there you whenever you see you receive an article for review, immediately what you will
Hmm.
do, you will take your the author name and you will put it Google it. Who is this guy?
Yes.
So
Yes.
according to that, your mindset will be there. Yes or no?
Yeah. Yes.
Similar way, when we are going to check in the answer sheet, the first page, the presentation is very nice, means you have the positive mindset.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
this student may have a good knowledge. A similar way. So what happened whenever you are applying for the funding agency, your research group is good. That means almost 60 to 70% success rate will be there
Oh. Okay.
because
Hmm.
they knew the credibility. They knew because you know already the what's called ORCID. Can you see ORCID? Have you heard about this one? That is
URCID.
academic
No.
research databases.
Hmm. No,
ORCID.
sir. URCID.
ORCID. Yes, just to
Okay.
go and Google it, I probably will find it. There you have to go and all the researcher must register there, sir.
Right.
Because there is a like our Aadhaar number, there is a unique number will be there for each and every researcher.
Okay. Okay.
So that one
URCID. Okay.
yeah, probably you will find it, madam.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can
Okay.
register yourself. You can register yourself. It's very easy. Even for Scopus.
Hmm. Yes, sir. That definitely we have heard Scopus,
Mm.
and we are
Scopus also, each and every academic faculty members or whether
academician has to register. Yes.
academician must register over there because all your
Hmm.
publication will reflect there.
Hmm. Okay.
Suppose
Okay.
nowadays if I go for any job and all, I will go and simply I say my name Dr. Karunamoorthi. That's all. Otherwise they will ask, tell me your ORCID numbers. They will Google it
Full
and they will
profile
see
is there
everything and
itself in ORCID. Full profile.
ORCID. That's all. That's enough because you need not send all your CV, not necessary because everything will be reflected there. What is your citation index? What is your H index? How many citations are
Mm-hmm.
there? How many own citations are there? What are the domains you have published? And what are the journals you have published? What is the impact factor of the journal? And everything will be reflected in this one. So this way they will check your credibility because they are going to give fund means they want to check their research group. What is the
Mm-hmm.
capability and capacity and as well as the uh, credibility. So this is the way, madam. But
Okay.
I know because I have I gone through your website and I found it's a newly emerging faculty. I hope it will be good. Actually, in this way, I am really happy because it's a budding department. You are conducting such a program, really, 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 very, very interesting. And congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Uh,
I think any more doubts are there, ma'am? We can't see any doubts.
okay, madam.
Shall we end the session, sir?
Yeah, no problem, madam. If you have any doubt, no problem. Otherwise, no. Thank
I your mail ID we will post it, sir, so that
you. Okay,
anyone has
madam.
any doubts, the participants can
Surely,
ask.
surely, madam. It is there in
Yeah.
karnamurthy@gmail.com.
Yeah, yeah. So any
Uh,
participants they can contact you for any doubts.
no problem, madam. And if you need any research, any collaborations, even for reviews or even manuscript or something, please kindly forward to me. No problem. I am here to
Yes,
help.
sir. Thank you. Thank you so
Because
much.
when I was a young researcher, I suffered a lot. So that's why
Mm.
even sometimes they send the PhD thesis for evaluation. Within 10 days or 15 days, I used to send back. Because my PhD
Mm-hmm.
thesis took more than 2.5 years for external
Okay.
evaluation. Mm.
Mm. Okay, sir. So,
Okay, thanks
ma'am,
so
yeah,
much.
we'll proceed with the vote of thanks now.
A very good evening to one and all. Being thankful and expressing our gratitude to all those who have been instrumental in the successful outcome of this program is an essential aspect of every event. I, Dr. N. Sabitarani, deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on his occasion. First and foremost, I thank the Almighty for making today's program a grand success and for blessing us with smooth connectivity throughout the session. We express our sincere gratitude to our director, Sri K.P. Rajmohan sir, Sri K.P. Arun sir, Sri K.P. Krishnanand sir for their continuous support and encouragement throughout the year in organizing various programs. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our principal, Dr. Anita Rajendran, for her constant support and guidance to the institution. I express my profound gratitude to our resource person, Dr. K. Karunamoorthi, for kindly accepting our invitation despite his busy schedule and for delivering such an insightful and inspiring session. Thank you so much, sir. Heartfelt thanks to Ms. Anubala Suresh, Head Department of BCom Information System Management, for her unstained support and guidance in organizing the 5 days International Faculty Development Program. I also thank all the faculty members of the Department of BCom ISM for their cooperation and hard work in organizing this event. Finally, I thank all the participants from various departments and colleges for accepting our invitation and gracing the occasion with their presence. We hope that each one of you found the session fruitful. We look forward to organizing many more such programs in the future with your continuous support and participations. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.